I see. Well, Dr. Africa, since African Americans are at the top of the list for most diseases, including cancer, can we talk a little bit about today about our African heritage and talk about how did we eat before slavery?
Well, before slavery and colonialism, we had a balanced diet. We ate green things in the morning, green food. We ate starches and greens and proteins, but now we're on to a diet that's strictly, with the major content of it is starch. And the starch is in the form of cereals or pancakes or pizza or cake, candy, all that starch. And so we're on a highly starch-centered diet. And eating that large amount of starch causes bone deformities, infertility, the teeth shift in the jaw and people have to wear braces, causes hair loss. It's a tremendous amount of starch, which requires a tremendous amount of insulin. So this starch-centered diet was a lot of problems with the slaves. So the primary thing that all of African people were put on was a starch-centered diet and a lot of fats. They even bought fats, called it fat back, because during slavery they believed that the food that caused them to get the most labor out of the slaves was starches and fats, so they put fat in everything. Fats in the greens, fried foods, just to keep our oils going, because they knew that the protein wasn't giving us the energy to work, it was the fats. So we had a fat and starch-centered diet, which caused our health to deteriorate and caused the need for doctors to be contracted on slave plantations because of this highly intensive starch-centered diet. It's very devastating.
Okay. Well, how did we practice medicine before slavery when we were eating the correct type of diet?
Well, before slavery, we were basically on what people call today health food, organic food. And our medicine was herbal medicine. We weren't using synthetic chemicals, which we call poisons, which are defined today as drugs. We weren't using that as medicine. We were using herbs, natural things that God made to remedy our ailments, whatever they were. And our diet was our primary medicine. Our food was our medicine, and our medicine was our food.
Okay.
And so we had that kind of understanding about our bodies and about what to eat, why to eat, and when to eat. We weren't eating late, eating when we're stressed, eating on the run. We took time out and had communion with God, said a prayer, and took our time to eat food. But now we're just into this whole fast pace of eating and not properly chewing our food, and this causes the body to be in a stress condition. Eventually you want to get away from salt, but for now we mix half sea salt with regular table salt.
Okay.
We do that for maybe 6 months to a year, and then we go all the way over to the sea salt.
Okay.
We're just going gradual. I'm used to frying food. It's not good to fry food. Say, okay, I'm used to frying food, so I'm going to switch to olive oil or canola oil and fry my food in that. They're less harmful. So I can eventually get away from frying food. But right now, let me go here first.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that makes a lot of sense, and I'm
soy hamburgers, chicken, turkey, bologna. They have rice, cheese. There's a lot of what we call crossover foods, so they really wouldn't have that much of a challenge. Great, you know, the children have is one of the leading cause of death for them. We have prostate cancer, we have breast cancer. It's an alarming rate.
if a person changes their lifestyle where they are eating differently and taking the different herbs, how long does this process take to reverse itself?
Well, you're probably looking at about 6 months to a year, something like that, to get the body back on track. The body has to get used to this stuff and say, wait a minute, I've been eating white rice and bleached white flour so long, and it kind of tastes good to me. Now you want to eat this brown rice and whole wheat? And no, I'm not used to this. So the person's taste buds will say, nah, this don't taste too good. So they have to get used to the taste of the food, which is real food instead of synthetic food. And that's mostly the big challenge, getting used to something that tastes alive, the real food. I think that's probably the biggest challenge for most people, because it's a pill mentality we live in. We want a pill for everything, a pill for this, a pill for cancer.